Michael Phelps has admitted, "Before I dive in, I feel my chest tighten. Even now, the nerves don't go away." Lynn Cox, the first swimmer to complete a mile in the Antarctica, often talks about fear before diving in. Her heart races, her body resists, but the moment she starts moving, she calls it crossing into a different element of being. "The feeling of going for a swim makes me nervous." This is not going to be a tutorial like many of our other videos. I just want to express what I think many of you feel but can't put it quite in words. And if I'm successful, you'll be relieved to finally be able to share these words with others. I want to warn you that this video feels like a physical act of approaching the water. From a distance, it makes sense. Then, as we get closer, it feels like staring at the water itself, strange and disorienting. But if you stay until the end, you'll be ready to dive in. I've been thinking about swimming almost every day for the past 28 years, and I've listened to and read the thoughts of thousands of people who spend a lot of time in the water, as well as those people who long to spend more time but can't or are afraid. At first, the experiences looked so different from person to person that they seem to have nothing in common. But in the next 3 videos, I'll show you that they do. The experience is the same for everyone in a profound way. From my very first swimming lessons, I remember being nervous when it came time to practice. As we approached the swimming pool in the car, my heart would start pumping faster and faster. The smell of the water increased my anxiety even more. Fast forward to my college career, and the same thing happened almost every practice. I'm not saying that everyone feels the same amount of nervous anticipation about swimming, but we all definitely feel something. For sure, our heart rate increases before jumping in, and it's not depending on your swimming skills. I was just as nervous when I started as I was when my speed was at its peak. For some of you, it might be easier to know what water does to your psychology. For me, it was a little harder. Mexico is incredibly diverse in its ecosystems, but I grew up in a desert environment, about a 10-hour drive from the nearest beach. Our rivers were dry most of the time, and we were prohibited from swimming in the artificial lakes we have nearby. I didn't grow up around large bodies of water. I didn't know water was unpredictable, and I didn't know that water was always moving. As a swimmer in a pool, I was the one moving, not the water. It's taken me years of research to understand what my heart and the collective unconscious have always known. The feeling of going for a swim is like going on an adventure into the land of mystery. Over 70% of Earth is covered by water, but more than 80% of the oceans remain unmapped and unexplored. We've mapped the moon and Mars in detail. We have better maps of Venus than our own seafloor. Why? Because water hides itself. It absorbs and scatters light and radio waves, making it incredibly hard to see beneath the surface. Pressure rises with every meter until at the deepest point, at the Mariana Trench, it's over 1,000 times the pressure that we feel at sea level. That crushes most machines and limits human exploration. Every day, about 13 million people go 11 kilometers above the sea level. Only a few in history have gone nearly 11 kilometers below it. Below the surface, things are less known to us. Even the most experienced swimmers or marine biologists, after a few minutes of swimming in unclear water, begins imagining sea monsters or creatures. Many writers and philosophers use the ocean to represent the unconscious mind. Just as most of the sea is hidden, so are most of our thoughts, memories, and drives. Having no control over some parts of our brain is frightening, just as frightening as having no control under the surface. In Moby Dick, Melville says, "In water, there's a veil of mystery through which we seek the hidden soul of things." One crazy fact about us is that our thoughts are shaped by our surroundings. You don't have the same thoughts in a library as in a club, even if you're reading the same book. Your body knows going for a swim will change you. Inside, it feels like a threat to your identity. Your body responds by pumping blood faster to your vital organs. The feeling might be subtle or strong, but if you pay attention, you'll find it there. Even though we need water to live, it doesn't sustain human life. Swimming has always been and always will be a risky endeavor. Without safety and preparation, it can be deadly. But you don't go swimming searching for safety. You go looking for an adventure and for the drowning of your flaws and weaknesses. The nerves I felt and still feel are my body's memory that water means discomfort, cold effort, and pain. It makes no sense that we want that. Yet, I keep walking towards the pool because the water calls me. And this is where I have to stop. Like I said at the beginning, this video starts to make less sense the closer we get to the real motivation of swimming. But as you already know, the next two phases get better. This video describes the feeling and meaning of going for a swim. In the next video, I'll describe what happens to our minds as we swim. Is it as bad as the expectation? Are the nerves justified? Click here if it's already available. Or if you want to know more about our swim camps, click here. See you there. Swim smooth.